Are you a veteran or currently serving? Or perhaps you're a civilian that has a veteran in your life? We want to stack up with you. StackUp.org brings both veterans and civilians together through a shared love of gaming. StackUp serves not only active duty troops and veterans in the U.S., but also our allies throughout the world. We do this through 4 primary programs. Supply crates, giant boxes of the latest in games and gear sent to active duty troops and veterans to raise morale, build camaraderie, and help combat post-traumatic stress. Air assaults, where we fly deserving veterans to life-changing gaming and geek culture events. The Stacks, our local volunteer teams coming together to support military personnel around their community. And our Stop Squad, Stack Up suicide awareness and mental health support team. Our trained volunteers are on call 24/7 if you're looking to talk with someone about your problems. We're here to help. Please reach out to us through StackUp.org to find out how we can support you or the veteran in your life today.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Southern Broadcast Gaming Network. I am Richard Hurst, and tonight we are here with the Old Glory Truck Series, and they are starting their round of 8 here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it's not the new Atlanta, it's going to be the old Atlanta, so it's going to be very unpredictable tonight, but they should be able to put on some exciting racing, as you know, these drivers are really going to be pushing these trucks to the limit to get to the round of 4. We only have about 3 races left in the series, so let's go ahead and take a look at those points and see who is on that cut line and who may advance. All right, so far Zach Stevens has the number 1 spot. Chase Greer going to be right there behind him by 1 point. Joe Munchell going to be behind the leader by 2 points. And Billy Davison going to be tied with 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So Curtis Ecker, Marshall Johnson, Mark Kincaid, Nathan Lafette, all are so close together that they can pretty much knock anybody out. But while we do have a minute, they do have some time while they are practicing. You know, let's go ahead and bring up our points leader and see how he is feeling here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Zach Stevens, it's Richard up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Well, you are the points leader coming into the playoff round of 8. And Atlanta can be a very tough track, but it looks like you are holding a pretty good speed. They're sitting in 4th on the leaderboard in practice. Tell us how you're feeling coming into tonight's race.
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty confident I can save some tires pretty well. Me and Chase usually do pretty well at that. As far as the speed goes in practice, I'm not sure about the number 1 spot. I think that might have been a draft. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though, but
Well, the number one
we'll
spot is in points. You're sitting at 2003. You got Chase Greer right there in 2002. Very close in points because they did reset, but a few bonus points it got you up to the top. But you're sitting in fourth as far as timing on in practice.
yeah, that's what I was saying. The number 5, I wasn't sure if that was with a draft or not, but we'll see how we are in the long run. Hopefully, we get some long runs. That's always better racing if you get some long runs, but hopefully, we can keep it clean, come out of here with a podium finish, and move on to the next race.
Absolutely. Well, you got 13 other drivers to deal with, and you'll have your teammate right there. So we'll see how that number 47 Daytona Hydro Dip plays at Atlanta here tonight. Well, I appreciate you stopping in the booth with me and chatting with me. Well, I'll let you get back down there and finish up your practice session, and we'll hopefully talk to you later.
Yeah, man, no problem. You surprised me.
Sorry about that.
I didn't expect you to pull me up. It's all good, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm cutting him off. But that was Zach Stevens. He is going to be the current point leader, and we are a little ahead of schedule. So I figured we would pull some up and talk to him. Now there are some drivers that are not in the playoffs, and that is going to be James Manderud. He does have the number one spot in practice. We'll switch to our tower and kind of look at to see what kind of times they are running. And it looks like about a 31:57 was James Vanderroot's time last time. Let's see if we can get the best time. Looks like a 31:31 for Manderroot. Johnson is going to be at 31:39. So very close lap times. Could have been a draft, could have been on his own, but we got Mark Stevens out there in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. No more feet pics. Zach is my spirit animal. Oh, this chat is going to be very interesting tonight. I can see that now. But we got a couple other drivers that we got about 29 second. Curtis Ecker is right there in fifth in points. Let's bring him up and see how he is feeling tonight. See if he can knock somebody off of that top four. Curtis Ecker, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I know you got only a few seconds before qualifying starts, but you are sitting in the fifth. Oh, I got an echo from your stream, but you are sitting in the fifth position. How are you feeling coming into Atlanta tonight? Are you going to be able to knock somebody down and move up here at Atlanta Motor Speedway?
We're gonna definitely try our best. I mean, then to go to I think Dega next week. I mean, anything can happen there. So, gonna give it our all. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you're tied with Billy Davison and the rest in the top 8. A good finish here will do you well. And I've seen you race in Atlanta, and I think you can put some points on that board. But I'll let you get into your qualifying, and good luck. And hopefully we'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
I think I moved him in the wrong one. There we go. All right. Well, while these guys are putting in their qualifying laps, we'll follow along. Got James Manderroot out there on the track. He is trying to put in his fast lap. Mark Kincaid always has a fast car. That number 54 Chevrolet Silverado out there on the track. Balin Powell. Good to see him here. Try your best. Losers always whines about their best. Winners go home. Well, I can't say that you're wrong. All right, so far Mark Kincaid is going to have the number one spot in qualifying. Those times are definitely subject to change as they put in their qualifying laps. Chase Greer just moved up to the second position. Curtis Ecker out there putting in his lap. Jared Stone trying to put in a fast lap out there. TSN Motorsports saying, you can't say that. Now, from my experience here at the Old Atlanta, you will have to be easy on the first couple of laps until these tires definitely heat up. They will be a little bit loose at first, especially if you're on that bottom lane. Looks like James Mandarud is going to take the pole as of right now. We still have a couple drivers out there that need to qualify, but back to what I was saying, yeah, a couple laps on these tires, especially if you're going to run the bottom, you can't put the power down too much or that truck is going to turn you sideways. Curtis Ecker out there on the track. Let's see if we can take a ride with him. About 176 miles an hour coming into turn number 1, coming out of turn number 2, down the backstretch. Let's see how fast he can get coming down the backstretch. We'll put up the track map so you can see where everybody is running. And there he is coming into turn number 3, about 178. M. King says track temp is about 2 million. Wow. What a close lap. What some close lap times for the pole position. First, second, and third, 100th of a second. And there is Marshall Johnson taking over the pole, pretty much tied with James Mandarud. Jack Nudemacher is sitting in 11th. Still got Lyle Mitchell, still got Joel Munchel, and Christopher Alkire needs to put in a lap. Got 14 drivers going to be starting in the race. Hopefully everybody can make it to the finish. But while we are waiting, we'll step aside and we'll go ahead and listen to that beautiful national anthem, and we will be right back.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
All right, and we are rolling. And yes, I am alone here tonight. And let's take a look at our lineup. Looks like Marshall Johnson. He is going to be able to take the pole. The 5 of James Manarud, he is going to be starting in second. You got Mark Kincaid. He is going to be starting in third. Let me get rid of that. Oh, I'm sorry. Fourth is going to be that double zero of Nathan Lafayette. Fifth is going to be Balin Powell. Sixth is going to be Jared Stone. Seventh is going to be Zach Stevens. Eighth is going to be Curtis Ecker. Ninth is going to be the 40 of Chase Greer. Billy Davison is going to be starting in ninth. 10th is going to be, 10th is going to be Billy Davison. 11th is going to be the 22 of Jack Nudemacher. 12th is going to be Joel Munchel. 13th is going to be Christopher Alkire. And Lyle Mitchell did not grid, so he is not going to be showing up in the race. Sorry, my dog was...
Green.
Dog was chewing on something real quick, so it caught my eye and distracted me just a little bit. But we are green flag racing, and Marshall Johnson has taken over the lead. Now James Vanderrood did not really put up a fight on that outside, and he is going to work his way to the bottom. They do have a little bit of gap in between Mark Kincaid and Balin Powell, and they are going to be pretty much lining up single file coming down the backstretch. Zach Stevens is going to be up 2 spots already since the restart in the 5th position. Nathan Lafayette down 2 spots. Jared Stone, he is going to be right here in 6th where he started. He's going to be working that outside lane, and a couple of the other trucks are going to be working the outside lane too, about 3 or 4. You got Chris Alkire. He's going to be right there, up 2 positions from where he started, right behind Curtis Ecker. Coming into turn number 1, down the backstretch. They are pretty much going to be single file, except for Jared Stone and Chase Greer. They're going to be stuck up on that high line. Now it's going to be interesting to see who is going to ride the high line. Now Atlanta can on that high line. Here at Atlanta, it can eat up the tires a little bit faster depending on how you have your steering ratio set. But as of right now, they are going to be side by side with the 69 and the 00 of Nathan Lafayette. Right there behind Chase Greer, catching a little bit of draft coming into turn number 2, down the backstretch. Going to have a little bit of run off the corner, and Nathan Lafayette going to be able to get up to the high side. Nope, it looks like that Christopher Alkire is going to be right there. Going right back out front is going to be James Manaroo. They have already broken out to about a 2.2 second lead, and I wonder how long these tires are going to last. We'll go ahead and look at it. We've got 120 laps here, about 60% fuel. 1 faster repair, 4 sets of tires, and definitely looking to have some of the racing spread out. So we might see a lot of green flag racing. But James Manarud, he is looking to go ahead and extend that lead from Marshall Johnson. Now Marshall Johnson could be sitting back, saving his tires early on, so that way he has them for the later run. You got about 3 packs. You got James Vanderrood, Marshall Johnson. You got Jared Stone right there in 3rd. You got Mark Kincaid. He has got the pack right there behind him, and you could throw a blanket over this whole pack as they are coming down the backstretch and doing about 175 miles an hour down that backstretch. Zach Stevens has got a little bit of challenge from the 43 of Christopher Alkire. He is going to be looking to take over that position, and he does. Now he's going to look to the outside of the 21. Not going to be able to get there. He's going to tuck it in right behind the 21 once again. And he might be able to get it right here in turn number 1. They're going to tuck it, dive it down to the low lane, and pretty much ride single file. Now, Balin Powell does have the 21 on the ticker, but his truck says the 11, so definitely got to watch out for that. If I call the wrong number, that is going to be the reason why. Open next time. Oh, this chat cracks me up. Well, James Vanderrood has broken out about a second over Marshall Johnson. Still trying to extend that lead coming out of turn number 4, but it looks like that 33 is going to be able to hang tough right there at about the 9/10 of the second back. He's about a second. Jared Stone is going to be about a second back from Marshall Johnson, so a little bit spread out. And Christopher Alkire is about 3 seconds back from Jared Stone. Once again, they could be laying back, saving those tires. We do have a long race. We could see pit strategies come into play here. As when I was watching them in qualifying or practice, I did not see a lot of self spins or anything. So definitely might be good racing here tonight, maybe spread out like I said earlier. But let's go through the lineup as positions have changed since we started this race. And James Vanderrood, he is going to be in the number 1 position. Number 2 position belongs to Marshall Johnson. Jared Stone is going to be in a 3rd. Christopher Alkire is going to be in 4th. He is actually going to be the biggest mover of the race so far. He is going to be up 9 spots from where he started. Billy Davison going to be up 5 spots from where he started, running in the top 5. 6th is going to be along to Curtis Ecker. He is going to be up 2 positions from where he started. Mark Kincaid, he is going to be down 4, but running in 7th. Balin Powell, he's going to be down 3, running in 8th as they're coming down the back stretch. Joe Munchel, he is going to be up 3 positions, running in 9th. Zach Stevens falling back to 10th. Now, he did talk about, when we did interview him before the race, he did talk about tire saving, and he is falling back right here with his teammate Chase Greer in 10th and 11th. They're going to be down 3 positions and 2 positions. And Jack Nudemacher, we're going to be right there in 13th. Nathan Lafayette, he just moved up a spot, but he's still going to be down 8 positions. He's going to be running in 12th. 13 trucks on the track. A lot of them have fallen back. Now about 4 seconds, still about 5 seconds back to Christopher Alkire. And Curtis Ecker is actually catching that 43 truck. He's about 8/10 of a second back from the 43 of Christopher Alkire. Now making some moves. He is going to be in the top 5. He needs to get a good finish here to keep himself up in the top 4 and be able to run for that championship. Now, you heard him say earlier that thanks, Mark, full factoids. You heard him talk about earlier, next week they will have Talladega, and anything can happen at Talladega because it is a super speedway. We'll probably see that 3-wide racing, so definitely make sure that you tune in for that race, as it will be very exciting, because that's going to be the race right before the championship race. I don't think he was right about that. So he was actually wrong. They are not at Talladega. They are going to be at Homestead next week. And it looks like he is going to take over that 4th spot from Christopher Alkire. Christopher Alkire broke out early, and Curtis Ecker was able to catch him. Now he's got Jared Stone in his sights. He's still got about 5 seconds before he can catch Jared Stone. But Jared Stone working to catch that 33 of Marshall Johnson. So we're going to see the 2nd place position change hands just a little bit if Jared Stone can keep it out of the wall. It looks like he did rub the wall just a little bit, but it didn't slow that truck down any, as they are coming out of turn number 2, coming down the back stretch. They are going to be side by side, but they still have to catch James Vanderrood. James Vanderrood has broken out to about a 2.2 second lead over everybody. Now, while we are pretty much green flag racing, I say, let's crank it up a little bit. Ooh, oh. Some good side-by-side battles. There you saw the 69. He did have a little bit of right side damage. No more feed picks. Damn, my table vibrated off. My tablet vibrated off the table. That's how you crank it up. But yes, we had a little bit of good side-by-side battle, and that was going to be Joe Munchel. He does have a little bit right side damage, and it looks like it is affecting that truck a little bit. He is going to be right there behind Chase Greer for that ninth spot, or in that ninth spot. Chase Greer was able to make the pass, but we're going to have a little bit of battle, maybe for the 8th spot once again, as Joe Munchel is looking to the inside of that number 40. Not going to be able to get there, coming in to turn number 1. And out of turn number 2, it looks like they are catching up to the rest of the pack, and it looks like Christopher Alkire is going to go another position down. So saving these tires early is going to work out for a lot of these drivers, as Stone is slowly but surely trying to catch James Vanderrood. James Vanderrood now only about 1.6 seconds ahead, but Johnson still 2.9 seconds back from Stone. Curtis Ecker still hanging on to about 5 seconds behind Johnson, so he's still got a lot of making up to do, and it looks like he is falling just a little bit. Now they will be coming in for a set of tires very soon. Oh, as he is blinking in and out just a little bit, but Billy Davison doing a really good job. He is only about looks like about 2 seconds back from Curtis Ecker, so they are slowly but surely catching that number 19 with Zach Stevens right there in tow, and Chase Greer going to be following suit, but he has Christopher Alkire right there to his inside, giving him a little bit of a challenge. This is going to be a challenge for the 7th position, and it looks like that 40 is going to be able to prevail down the backstretch, and Joe Munchel wants a piece of that action too, as they are side by side coming into turn number 3. So everybody is spread out. Everybody is trying to chase down the 5, the 66, and the 33. And let's go to the 30. Let's go to the 66. There's the 66. We'll go to his cockpit cam, and there is the distance between him and James Vanderrood. Now, James Vanderrood about 1.3 seconds. So within the last couple of laps, he has made up about 0.3 of a second on the 5, which has been leading the most laps here at Atlanta so far. We still have 95 laps here left to go, so there's still a lot of racing. There's still a pretty big pack back in the back, and looks like Jack Nudemacher, he is going to be trying to make some moves himself, as I think he just made up a position on Balin Powell. Balin Powell was up towards the front, and now he is falling fast as the 00 is going to make a pass on the inside, and that is going to be for the 12th position. Looks like Balin Powell has a little bit of right side damage. You can see that hood crinkled just a little bit, and we'll take a look at his nose cam. And yeah, there is the damage on the right side of that truck, and Christopher Alkire going to already dive his truck down early and go ahead and take some tires. It looks like James Vanderrood going to do the same thing, so it looks like 2 drivers going to be going ahead and taking the pits early, and maybe utilizing those fresh tires to break out a little bit further later on. We got 8 viewers out there on the stream. I appreciate y'all stopping by, spending your Tuesday evening with me. I know the work week has just started, so I hope it is going pretty well for you. I know at least we're past Mondays. Mondays are the worst, but at least we are past Mondays. All right, Jared Stone going to be scored. The leader, as Marshall Johnson going to be trying to make up a little bit of time on that 66, but I don't believe he's going to be able to get there. Now that's going to move Curtis Ecker up to. Ooh, and it looks like he just scraped the wall, and he has got a little bit of a connection issue as he keeps on blinking in and out. So we will go to a different TV camera. There we go. Yes. Got a little bit of a connection issue on that number 19. Billy Davison trying to get around that 19 on the bottom side there. So Vanderrood and and Allcar going to be on 1 lap down. Balin Powell going to be the last car on the lead lap. Let's see where the 5 is. Okay, so he is just now coming out of turn number 4, so he's got a little bit of time to make up. Now, this could be a good strategy. Pit early, make up some time. And he is, I'm going to say he's about 5 seconds back and closing. But Jared Stone and Marshall Johnson, they have made it out to about 7 seconds ahead of Zach Stevens. There he is in that Daytona Hydro Dip number 47. He is currently running 3rd, and it looks like Jared Stone, he is going to bring his truck into the pits and give up that 2nd position. Looks like he got in good and safely, and Zach Stevens is going to move up to 2nd. Billy Davidson going to move up to 3rd. Maybe he's not going to pit this time. He's coming into turn number 1 and coming out of turn number 2. Marshall Johnson going to stay out. And he was scored the leader the last time. So let's see if he brings that 33 Toyota down pit road. And yes, he is. He's going to bring it down pit road. Let's see what Zach Stevens does in the 2nd position. Now Zach Stevens and Chase Greer are probably going to be on the same pit strategy. And they are going to go a little bit longer. So Zach Stevens is going to stay out and lead a lap with Chase Greer right there in tow in 2nd. Mark Kincaid going to follow suit and stay out for 3rd, and Nathan Lafayette also going to stay out and take over the 4th position. So Marshall Johnson, Joe Munchell, Billy Davidson, Jack Nudemacher, and Balin Powell, they are all going to be in the pits, and James Mandaruth, there he is. He is possibly going to get his lap back right now. Now he is going to be on the lead lap, and let's see how he maintains. Look at the gap that he's going to have over Johnson. So he is going to have about a 7-second gap, and it's kind of opening up just a little bit. Now Stone is making up a little bit of time on him. So 7-second gap between them. And it looks like everybody else, the top 4 is going to be in the pits. Mark Kincaid and Lafayette and Stevens and Greer are going to be in the pits here at lap 32. James Vanderrood is going to take over the lead with Mark Kincaid showing in 2nd. Now that just changed to Jared Stone. Curtis is showing Morse code for passing me. The Navy just got beat by a bag of Doritos. That's a pretty good one. Well, lap 33 is complete, and Mandaru is still out by about 6.6 seconds over Jared Stone. Marshall Johnson about 9 seconds back from the leader. He's only about 3 seconds back from Jared Stone, so he has a little bit of making up to do. And Christopher Allcar back here about 4 seconds behind Johnson. Double zero in the wall, kept it under control. Well, let's go find Mr. Nathan. There he is, and doesn't look like he has a lot of damage on that truck, but he has got Balin Powell right there. He is trying to get around, but he is losing speed. Billy Davidson is going to be right there behind him and going to look to take over that 11th position from Nathan Lafayette. Is he going to be able to get there as they come into turn number 1? He's going to be looking up to the high side. Can he get the run off to turn number 2? They are going to be door to door as they come down the backstretch. And it looks like that 7 is going to have a little bit of a draft from the 21 of Balin Powell. And he is going to be able to make the move. He's going to cut it down to the bottom. And now we got a side-by-side battle for the 10th position. And it looks like Billy Davidson is going to be able to take it over. So we have a change up for the 10th position. You got Jack Nudemacher. He is going to be right there in 9th. So a lot of I'd say about 3 seconds separate those two trucks. So Billy Davidson has got a little bit of work to do to catch up to that 22. Mark Kincaid fell back to the 8th position, right there behind that bag of Doritos, as No More Feet Picks would say. Zach Stevens and Chase Greer are going to be running in 5th and 6th. Joe Marshall. Let's see what happened to Curtis Eckert. Oh no, he must have disconnected. And I don't see him in the chat. Oh no, that's not what he needed. You know, being right there in 4th. So he's going to have a win next week to really just lock himself in to move on to the next round. If he cannot continue. James Mandarud still out front leading, and he is catching up to the 00 and the 69. I do believe that is. Or no, I'm sorry, 00 and 11. So can he get around these two without any trouble? We shall see. We're going to ride on board with him and see how he manages this. And he is going to be managing to ride that middle lane, not really trying to eat up the tires. He's got a good arc into the corner, and looks like he's going to let it drift up to the wall. Not going to put a lot of wheel into that truck. And yes, he does have a little bit of front. That 00 does have a little bit of front end damage. So that is what's going to be slowing him down. So Nathan Lafayette going to be the first truck 1 lap down. Balin Powell is going to be looking to go a lap down also if he cannot stay in front of that leader. And it looks like he is going to take a trip 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down. So if the caution does come out, we will see him get his lap back. We are almost halfway. Lap 40 is complete. Coming to the start finish line will be lap 41. And you see James Medarud, we're going to ride on board on his hood cam, and you see that he is catching up to Mark Kincaid, Billy Davidson. They are battling it out, but James Medarud on the move here, making a statement, trying to sneak in a win. Not a playoff contender, but he can upset somebody's night. All right, let's go. Let's go catch this pack up here. This is a pack of 4, and you got Joe Munchel. You got Zach Stevens right there in 5th. You got Chase Greer right there in 6th. You got Jack Nudemacher. He is right there in 7th. And Billy Davison not too far behind in 8th. Mark Kincaid, he is a little bit ways back. He is about a second back from this small little pack, 1.4 to be exact. And like I said, that 5 truck is coming. Now the 5 still has Jared Stone in hot pursuit. He is about 2.5 seconds back from James Mandarud, but according to their pit strategy, let's take that off there. According to their pit strategy, looks like in about 7 laps, if he decides to stay out, James Mandarud might come in and get another set of 4 fresh fuel goods and a full tank of go-go juice. Jared Stone probably come in about laps, I'd say about lap 54 or so, if they stay on that, strategy. 5th, 6th, and 7th place is a wild trio. Well, still spread out, and it looks like we could see a lead change here in a couple of laps as Jared Stone is making his way into the picture for the lead. 1.5 seconds now separate him as we are catching, looks like Balin Powell he's already caught Balin Powell and passed him. Let's see if Balin Powell gives Jared Stone any problems passing him. This could help out James Manaroo, if the 11 decides to race the 66, but now a second separates these two. James Manaroo still working that high side, but he's going to lift the 21 right on by, and he is going to be back on the lead lap. So as caution comes out, it looks like Nathan Lafayette will get his lap back the easy way. Doesn't have to race anybody. Well, let's go back and take a look at this pack back here. Looks like they are still spread out just a little bit. Joe Muncho leading this pack, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, all right there in a line. Not really making any moves. All about 29 seconds back from the leader. Ooh. If they ain't careful, everybody is going to be a lap down, and this guy right here, he is going to put him a lap down. Or it could be Mr. Stone that is going to be able to put him a lap down. So 3 laps, well, about 2 to 3 laps before we see the 5 maybe bring his truck down the pits, maybe a lap 54 for the 66. And the 66 is coming. Not a lot of side-by-side battles going on the track. I'm very sorry about that. As I figured it would have been, it would be pretty spread out. Biggest mover of the race right now is going to be that man right there. That's going to be Mr. Joel Munchell. He is going to be up 8 positions from where he started this race. And Curtis, if you are still on, got your computer up and running, you're welcome to come in the booth and join me if you'd like. If not, I understand. Got a side-by-side battle right there, and it looks like this is going to be for the lead, and Jared Stone is going to be able to take the lead right here at lap number 50. It looks like those tires have given up on James Manaroo's truck, but he is going to fight right back on the inside of that number 66, and like I said, this is going to be for the lead, and this is what those cars that are right there in front of them, we are going to ride in the cockpit view. Those cars right there in front of them, this is what they want to see, because as these leaders fight, that gives them a fighting chance to stay on that lead lap. And James Manaroo is going to look to the bottom of the 66. He's going to be able to get there. Is he going to be able to lead this lap? We're going to go to a TV view, and it's going to be side by side as you come across the start-finish line. It is going to be James Manaroo right back to the lead, and he has got about 3/4 of a truck on that 66. 66 looking up high, not going to be able to get the run on the 5. Going to maybe try to do a crossover coming out of turn number 2, and this is the battle that we want to see. 66 has the advantage on the inside. Is he going to keep the 5 up there on the top as they come into turn 3? He cannot get there, so he's going to tuck in behind the bottom of, or behind the 5 on that top lane, coming to the start-finish line for lap number 52. It is going to be James Manaroo still in command of this lead. So Jared Stone had a taste of the lead. He's definitely going to want it back later on, and James Manaroo not staying on the same pit strategy that he was. He had about 25 laps. We thought he was going to maybe stay on the same pit strategy. Now he's going to take it a little bit further. Maybe he figured, pitting too early allowed that 66 to catch up to him, and now he's going to stay out a little bit longer. 66 is not done with the 5 yet, as he is still looking up to the high side. Still got the 11 right there, and that is going to be Balin Powell. So he's going to be still on the lead lap, but just barely. As this is a good battle, we need to go to Balin Powell's, and we need to go to his gearbox. There is the view, and it looks like James Manaroo, he is going to bring his truck in here at lap number 53, and that's going to turn over the lead to Jared Stone. Now, can Jared Stone put Balin Powell 1 lap down? We shall see. He's going to look to the high line. Not going to be able to get there this time. Balin's going to slide up just a little bit. He's going to leave that top lane open, and the 66 is going to put him a lap down. Mark Kincaid is going to be the next truck to go a lap down if he's not careful. but Johnson was able to take over the second place position, and he is still about 2.7 seconds back from Jared Stone. Looks like Mandarud is going to drop down to the 8th position. Hopefully he got that truck in and slowed down in time. No black flags, and he did, and he is going to be off and away here at lap number 55. Going to be showing one lap down along with Balin Powell. But he should be able to make it up very quickly with those newer tires. Five coming out of pits, and it looks like our leader is coming out of turn number 4. And the 5 is not too far behind. He's about maybe a straightaway or a tri-oval from the leader of Jared Stone. So he is on a pretty good pit strategy if he can hold out. Marshall Johnson still going to stay out on the track. He is going to go a little bit further also. You got Chase Greer. He is going to be in the 3rd position with Zach Stevens in tow. That Daytona Hydro Dip and that Doritos number 40, they are trying to make their pit strategy work, as they were two of the trucks that stayed out the longest. And there we see Zach Stevens stayed out until, and Greer stayed out till lap 31. So we should see them come in probably around lap number 62, but they are pretty far back, 27 seconds to the leader, and that may get extended just a little bit. So Atlanta is not treating some of these trucks very nicely, as Zach Stevens looking to the inside of his teammate, not gonna try to take that position away. Gets a good little run coming into turn number 1, and he's gonna look to the outside, and he is gonna let Joe Munchell right on by. So Joe Munchell is gonna take over that 4th position coming down the backstretch. Zach Stevens not ready to race it out just yet. A lot of laps left to go. We're almost halfway. All green flag racing so far. Pit strategies will come into play. It looks like Powell is going to be back on the lead lap. It looks like he is going to be on the tail end. And there he is with the leader right there behind him. James Mandarud, he is just now crossing over the start-finish line, and it looks like the 66 of Jared Stone, he is just now going to be coming out of turn number 2, so it looks like that 5 is making up a lot of ground. The longer these trucks stay out, the longer those tires are going to burn off, and he is going to make up a lot of time, but how much time is going to be too much? Is he really burning up those tires? Looks like the 66 is going to bring it in and go ahead and take his service to that Ford F-150. That's going to turn over the lead to Marshall Johnson in that Toyota. We only have about 3 Toyotas in the race. We have 3 Fords in the race, and all the rest are Chevrolets. Brianna out there saying, go Mark. Mark really needs to step on that gas. Or he could be going a lap down. Ooh, almost a little bit of contact right there, and that's going to be between Mark Kincaid and the 11 of Balin Powell. But they do keep it off of each other, and they're going to be able to race it around another lap. Let's see if Mark Kincaid can get around that number 11. Not going to be able to get there this time, and it looks like that truck got a little bit tight because he lost a lot of momentum coming out of turn number 2. James Mandarud is coming into turn number 3, and it looks like everybody is still going to be staying out, and it looks like Chase Greer is going to be taking over the lead along with Zach Stevens and Billy Davison and Jack Nudemacher. James Mandarud is going to take over the 5th position. Now I give it to Chase and Zach. They are really making it happen. You know, as far as staying out here at lap 61, I said they might stay out to about lap 62. That will pretty much allow them to have the freshest tires on the track. It looks like Jack Nudemacher and Billy Davison going to bring their cars into pits, and now is going to be James Mandarud moving up to the 3rd position. Jared Stone going to be about 6 seconds behind Mandarud. But as of right now, only 7 trucks on the lead lap. And the last one on the lead lap is going to be Jack Nudelmacher, now Billy Davison, as he comes out of the pits. Zach Stevens all over the back bumper of Chase Greer, not pushing him very hard. And James Meterud, he has already made up about 5 seconds. Jared Stone still about 5 seconds back on James Meterud. So, and here comes the leaders. They're going to bring their trucks down pit road. Oh my goodness! And Chase Greer slides it sideways. That's going to cost him a lot of time because he's going to have to back that truck up, and he is going to. That's not what he wanted to see. So that's going to turn over the lead to James Meterud, and Jared Stone going to be riding in second. Marshall Johnson going to take over third once again. There you see them making their way around Balin Powell. And like I said, as of right now, there's only 5 cars on the lead lap, and Chase Greer and Zach Stevens may go a lap down. We'll have to see how they come out. We know the 40 is going to go a lap down due to the mistake on pit road. But the 47 is going to be able to get his lap back the hard way if he can get that truck up to speed coming out of the pits. And let's go ahead and ride with the 47. There he is. He is going to be a lap down. So 3 trucks on the lead lap here, over a little bit over halfway to go. 55 laps still left in the race. Caution would be nice for some of these drivers. No more feet picks, says sweet baby Jesus. Chase. Well, everybody has made their pit stops, and you know what? We are going to go ahead and crank it back up one more time. And here we go. Said, hold on, I got to turn my volume down. Can't drop this too many more times. LOL. Well, it looks like Zach Stevens stayed out, and he's going to be able to try to get his lap back the hard way, as he is the first car one lap down. This will put him back on the lead lap if he can get there, and he is going to be able to pass James Vanderwood on that bottom side. Now he's got Jared Stone in his sights to get his lap back. And it looks like Marshall Johnson, he is slowly but surely creeping into picture, about 2 seconds back, or about a second back from James Vanderwood, actually under 2 seconds, about 0.6 of a second. So is James Vanderwood saving tires here at lap 73? Not exactly sure, but those newer tires on that 33 are definitely helping that 33 out, as he is caught up to the back bumper now, about 1/10 of a second back to the 33 from the 5, and he is going to look to the inside, and we're going to go to a different camera angle so we can see this a little bit of a battle. Coming into turn number 3, they are going to be almost side by side. 33 going to look to the inside. James Vanderwood going to take it up way up to the wall, and it looks like the 33 is going to be able to make the pass. So Marshall Johnson going to be able to take over the second position from James Vanderwood. He has led a lot of laps, but we could see one more pit stop here in the near future, as we look at the pit stops as of right now. It looks like they can put about 30 laps. Yeah, about 30 laps is about all they can go. Looks like James Vanderwood pitted 2 laps early than his yeah, he pitted about 2 laps early from 30 laps, but 2 laps, 7 laps between him and Johnson, that can make up a lot. Yeah, I do believe so. I mean, Chase back here, he is riding in 9th, even though he spun. I believe him and Zach still have a good strategy going on, as long as Zach can get on the lead lap. Zach pitted at lap 63. If it goes the way I think it's going to go, so he will pit about lap 93. He went 32 laps that last time. So yeah, I believe he's going to try to make it a one-stop shop, as everybody else might be trying to stretch it. If they go on this strategy here, they'll pit about lap 90. They'll still have about, it'll be close. But Zach Stevens looking to get his lap back. Not going to be able to do it on the bottom side this time. Coming down the back stretch, he is going to have that 66 in sight. We'll take that off the screen. Still only 3 trucks on the lead lap, and I know they'd love to see a caution come out. And we're going to take a look from our fan cam. And here comes the leader. James Vanderwood did fall back to the 3rd. Marshall Johnson was able to take over the 2nd position. Well, we got a minute. We'll go through the field. How about that? Well, Jared Stone started in 6th. Now he is leading this race. Marshall Johnson is going to be sitting in 2nd. He did qualify 1st. But now he is running in 2nd. 3rd is going to belong to James Vanderwood. He qualified 2nd and now is running in 3rd. Zach Stevens going to be up 3 positions from where he started. He started in 7th. Still doing a pretty good job running in the top 5. Jack Nudebacher going to be the biggest mover of the race, and he is going to be running in the 5th position. So a top 5 finish would be great for Jack Nudebacher here tonight. Billy Davison going to be running in 6th. He's going to be not too far behind that number 22, but he's got a little bit of of distance to make up. Mark Kincaid going to be running in 7th, down 4 positions from where he started this race. Chase Greer is still going to be up 1 position. He started in 9th, now running in 8th after a spin on pit road. He lost a lot of ground. Balin Powell going to be running in 9th, down 4 positions from where he started. 10th is going to belong to Nathan Lafayette. He had a little bit of damage to the right front fender of that F-150, but still riding in the top 10. Joe Munchel in that 69. He has got Jack Nudemacher all over the back bumper, but he was going to be a lap down, so that's not going to be for a position. Christopher Alcar is going to be out, and Curtis Ecker is going to be out. So we only have 12 trucks on the track as of right now. Zach Stevens still looking to get his lap back. And that 66 is rolling pretty fast. Well, the only now, the 66 of Jared Stone, looking at the points, he is not in the playoffs. He is not in the round of 8, so this could be an upsetter for some of these playoff drivers. But the next one that is going to be in the playoffs is going to be that second place truck of Marshall Johnson. It looks like James Manderroot, he is going to be in the pits. He's going to bring his truck on down for his possible last service of the race here at lap 83. So he's going to have to put 37 laps on those tires. Let's see how well this plays out for him. Zach Stevens is going to move up to the 3rd position. Now they still have to make one more pit stop, and that's going to move Jack Nudemacher once he makes the pass on James Manderroot. That's going to put him up into the 4th position. So this is what we don't. This is what drivers would not want to see as a caution come out, because there's only 2 trucks on the lead lap. The next one, the first truck 1 lap down, is still going to be Zach Stevens. But everybody still has to make those pit stops. Zach Stevens trying to get his lap back the hard way, and Marshall Johnson is coming into the picture, and he could be looking to take over the lead here very soon, as he has just been stalking that 47 and the 66, and now he has caught them, now within 0.4 of a second from the lead. Can he get there? He's going to look down low as Zach Stevens is going to ride that high line right behind the 66. Not going to be able to get there this time, so he is going to try to grab a little bit of that draft coming into turn number 1. Everybody else is still spread out all over the track. Still got 8 viewers out there. 37 laps on tires. Wouldn't he need fuel before then? I believe so. I would think so, or they could be pitting earlier. Let's see, Zach Stevens, he went 63 laps, 32 laps. 32 laps once again for Greer. So I believe that he would have to stop again, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong on that one. Well, Marshall Johnson was able to get around Zach Stevens, and now he is going to be able to battle for the lead, and he has got that Toyota in the wind. He's going to be looking to the bottom side, and now he's going to drift it up, maybe get him a good entrance on turn number 1, and he is now going to have the lead as of this moment. But the 66 is going to fight right back on coming out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. It's going to be Jared Stone right back to the lead, as the 33 could not hold the momentum coming off of turn number 2 on that bottom. Now going to look to the inside. He's got about a fender on the 66. Not going to be able to get there. He's going to be about a 1/10 of a second back from the 66 coming out of turn number 4. They are going to be pretty much nose to tail. 33 is going to try it again. Now the 33 might burn up his tires trying to battle with the 66, but he is going to look to the back. back left quarter panel, not going to be able to get there. 66 did drive it down to the low lane. 66 trying to break a little bit of draft, trying to protect that low lane. Now he's going to be down on the bottom. It looks like he is going to bring that truck down pit lane. Is he? No, he's going to... Yeah, there he comes. He's going to bring it down. Oh, and he's going to make a big mistake coming down. And that's not going to cost him too much. He did save it, but that's going to cost him a little bit of time because he was slower coming into the pits. Well, Marshall Johnson going to be leading one more time. Can he stay out, lead some laps, make a pit, get back there to the front in a good time? Looks like he is going to be bringing his truck down to the pits. And here comes the 5 of James Manderud. He is going to be riding in the 5th position. Got Jack Nudemacher going to be right there in front of the 5. So the 5 is going to make the pass. Possibly coming out of turn number 2, and this is going to be for the 3rd position, and he is going to be able to make the pass on those fresher tires. Now he still has a lot of laps left to go. He still has 29 laps left to go. I'm not exactly sure of what the pit strategy is, but maybe they're not short on fuel. Maybe it is going to be a tire. This track will wear down those right side tires. I'm really thinking Zach and Chase are in the catbird seat, to quote the W. Yeah, I am definitely interested to see how they do, because let's see where Zach Stevens is actually the leader right now. So he pitted at lap 63. We should be seeing him come down anytime soon. I'm thinking he's going to go to about lap 96 or so. I'd say about 95, 96. He'll bring it down. That'll give him about 25 laps to go, and he'll have the freshest tires in the field. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Johnson has made his pit stop, so he is about 7 seconds back. So we're going to see that time really fall quick, fast, and in a hurry. James Manderud, he is going to be riding in 3rd. So it's going to be a very tough. It's very tough as they are all spread out throughout the field. It's very tough to know what their fuel is going to be like. But Chase moving up to the 4th position. Billy Davison going to bring his truck down pit road. And it looks like Balin's going to be in, and Jack Nudemacher already back out on the track. Jared Stone was the leader, and then he brought his truck into pits for a service. And now he has made it back up to the 5th position. Chase Greer going to be right there in front of him, riding in 4th. Zach Stevens is going to be bringing his truck down pit road. Now he's going to have about 26 laps to go, and that's going to turn the lead back over to Marshall Johnson. James Manderud are going to be in 2nd. Let's see if Chase brings his truck down. Yes, absolutely. He gets it slowed down. Not going to spin it this time. Good job for that number 40. And you are absolutely right. Lap 95. You called it. I don't believe James Manderud is going to have the tires to catch the 33. Now, could he save? Everybody is 1 lap down. There's only 2 trucks on the lead lap. Zach Stevens just now coming out of the pits. He's going to be still in 3rd. You got Stone. He's going to be in 4th. There he is right there. They are pretty much right together. So 2 trucks being on the lead lap. James Vanderrood can pretty much save as much fuel as he wants and not really have any challengers to really deal with. Maybe expecting a late caution, not sure. But he is going to have company very quick, fast, and in a hurry as that 69 and the 66 are going to be right there. He's going to take the high line. He's not giving up. He's not putting up any challenge, and it looks like the 33 of Marshall Johnson is extending that lead now out to 7 seconds. And once again, he doesn't have any challengers for the lead. Everybody is a lap down from him. They got a lot of work left to do if they want to get back on the lead lap. And it looks like he has. Who does he have right there in front of him? It looks like that's going to be Balin Powell. So Balin Powell looking to go another lap down. That's going to be 3 laps down for Balin Powell. And not too far in front of him is going to be Nathan Lafayette. James Vanderrood letting everybody by. We're going to take a look. We're going to take a ride with James Vanderrood, see exactly what he's doing. I don't believe he's really pushing this truck. I think he's backing up the corners, you know, letting it pretty much coast around and then getting back on the gas. You see as that time is extending, now 8.5 seconds. So I think he's kind of in fuel saver mode right now. Oh no, he's going to bring it in. Interesting. Very interesting. Gonna see how this strategy plays out. Now they had 4 sets of tires coming in to Atlanta. That's gonna be his 4th pit stop of the night. And it looks like Stevens might take over that position as James Vanderrood is going to be going 1 lap down. Stevens is going to take over that position. And the 5 is going to be out and away. He's going to drop it down to the 4th position. 20 laps to go. How much time can he make up? Did he take any tires is the question. James Vanderrood was only in for about 6.27 seconds, so he was short on fuel. He had to come in and top off. Well, while we are green flag racing, we will step aside for 1 second and take a look at our race sponsors once again.
Are you a veteran or currently serving? Or perhaps you're a civilian that has a veteran in your life? We want to stack up with you. StackUp.org brings both veterans and civilians together through a shared love of gaming. StackUp serves not only active duty troops and veterans in the U.S., but also our allies throughout the world. We do this through 4 primary programs. Supply crates, giant boxes of the latest in games and gear sent to active duty troops and veterans veterans to raise morale, build camaraderie, and help combat post-traumatic stress. Air Assaults, where we fly deserving veterans to life-changing gaming and geek culture events. The Stacks, our local volunteer teams coming together to support military personnel around their community. And our Stop Squad, Stack Up suicide awareness and mental health support team. Our trained volunteers are on call 24/7 if you're looking to talk with someone about your problems. We're here to help. Please reach out to us through stackup.org to find out how we can support you or the veteran in your life today.
All right, and we are back, and still only 2 trucks on the lead lap. That is going to be Zach Stevens and just barely Zach Stevens and Marshall Johnson. So Zach Stevens hoping for that last-minute caution, as we only have about 14 laps left to go here in tonight's race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Next week, we will be at Homestead, Miami for the second race for the round of 8. Oh boy, get your popcorn ready. So yes, next week we will be at Homestead, and that will be the last race of the round of 8, and then it will be the championship race. So pretty excited. I'm excited, but I'm not, as Chase Greer is looking to go another lap down. He's got Marshall Johnson all over the inside of that number 40, so he is going to go another lap down. That's going to put him 2 laps down. There's only, like I said, there's only 2 trucks on the lead lap, and there's only 5 trucks 1 lap down. Everybody else is going to be 2 or more or out. But Homestead, Miami can be very exciting racing, as we only have 12 laps to go here. But Homestead, you're going to have a lot of high line, a lot of low line racing going on, maybe a little bit of middle line. Middle line can be tricky in these trucks, as they can break loose very fast. And once again, on that track, that is a track where you want to save your tires as much as you can. If the tires are not hot enough, they will have no grip on that bottom line, especially coming out of turn number 4. It can be very tricky for the trucks, Xfinities, and the next gens, from my experience. These guys, make me look like an amateur when I'm racing. So, actually, I think everybody makes me look like an amateur when I'm racing. So, they can probably handle that racetrack better than I can. But the biggest mover of the race is going to be this man right here. That's going to be the Daytona Hydro Dip number 47 of Zach Stevens, bringing his truck down to 11 to go. Everybody hoping for that last minute caution, but I don't believe it's going to happen, as we're going to put SDK on the most exciting and see where it takes us, and that's going to be to the 54 and the 7 of Mark Kincaid and Billy Davison. Mark Kincaid riding up in the top 5. Billy Davison right there out of the top 5. Got to give credit to where credit is due to Jack Nudemacher. He is riding around in 7th, only 1 lap down. I do believe he has a little bit of right side damage done to that truck. So that is definitely slowing that truck down just a little bit. Johnson may... that's a good question. So he pitted at lap 90. Stevens pitted at lap 94. Stone pitted at lap 89. It is going to be very close on fuel mileage, depending on how many laps they can go. It looks like they can go between 30 to 33 laps on fuel. That's been the trend that we've seen so far. It looks like Stevens did about 31 laps last time. He did 32 laps. So I think 32 is pretty much stretching it. We have 8 to go. He's already on 20 laps of fuel. He may have just enough or run out at the start-finish line. Got Mark Stevens out there in the chat. Go 47, go. Well, we have seen, some exciting battles, when the race first started. Then everybody got straight, pretty much spread out on the field. But it's been a very good race. A lot of green, actually all green flag laps. And it looks like pit strategy is going to serve some well. Hate to see it that for Chase Greer. He had a very good pit strategy, but a spin on pit road did cost him a lot of time and a lot of positions. He will finish up in the top 10, though. He is right now currently 8th and 2 laps down. Ninth and 2 laps down, as the 69 is giving him a little bit of a challenge. But we'll go back up front and see how Marshall Johnson is doing it. Now, with Zach Stevens being so far back, I believe Marshall Johnson can... Uh-oh, where'd he go? There he is. I believe Marshall Johnson can clutch this thing and be fine. I mean, I don't believe he is going to be, he's just going to drive Miss Daisy around and save a little bit of fuel. That way he knows he can make it coming down to 4 to go. It is going to be all his race to win or all his race to lose, depending on how well he played his strategy. But it looks like he's got a pretty good winning strategy, with Zach Stevens going to be right there in second, 27 seconds back. He was only about 4 seconds ahead of the leader. Zach Stevens coming across the start-finish line. And the leader's coming across the start-finish line now 3 to go. So, yeah, if it went green any longer, I believe Zach Stevens would be a lap down also. And there is Marshall Johnson. We'll ride with him a little bit. As far as off throttle goes, he's not really off throttle that much. I mean, he's still carrying a lot of speed through the corners. Running about 6,000 RPMs through the corners. He's letting that truck roll through it. Now two to go, coming to the final lap. This is for all the marbles. Does he have the fuel to make it? Only time will tell. And there it is. The white flag is out. This is the final lap of the race. 120 laps of green flag racing. And he could pretty much probably sputter to the start-finish line and still have enough time to win. And here he comes out of turn number 4 and coming to the checker finish. And Marshall Johnson is going to be the winner here in the first race of the round of 8 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Zach Stevens is going to bring home a second. So great finish for that Daytona Hydro Dip number 47. Now that's definitely going to be that's definitely going to help him in the points. He's probably going to keep that points lead. And here he comes across the start-finish line. Jared Stone going to finish out in third. Great race, great strategies by all these drivers, especially in the top 5. James Menderud maybe ran his truck a little bit short, and he had to make a quick gas and go, but bringing home a 4th place position, even after a late pit stop, that's pretty darn good. Well, Marshall Johnson going to be out there burning it down. Zach Stevens going to be the biggest mover of the race, only up 5 positions, but still the biggest mover. And while he is burning it down, let's take a look at our finishing order. Yeah, I just realized that I didn't have sound. I'm definitely sorry about that. I do apologize. All right, taking a look at the finishing order. There it is. We have Marshall Johnson bringing home the win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Zach Stevens in the Daytona Hydro Dip number 47. He is going to come home in second. Jared Stone going to bring home a podium finish in third. James Vanderrood did a really good job, even with a gas and go, bringing his number 5 Chevrolet home in fourth. Mark Kincaid bringing home a top 5 finish. He is going to finish in the 5th position. Billy Davison did a really good job of finishing in 6th. Jack Nudemacher finishing up in the top 10. He is going to bring home 7th. 8th is going to be Joel Munchel. 9th is going to be Mr. Chase Greer, still holding on to a top 10 even after a spin on pit road. Nathan Lafayette going to be finishing in 10th. 11th is going to be Balin Powell. 12th is going to be Christopher Alkire. 13th is going to be Curtis Ecker. He had to disconnect due to a connection issue. Lyle Mitchell is going to be wrapping up your 14th. Well, we got James Vanderrood out there. FYI, I didn't gas and go. I was 8 laps short. Oh. But glad you had a blast out there. Thank you for the comments on the broadcast there, James. Always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. Love to watch watch your racing also over there on the Facebook side. He definitely puts on a really good show in those hosted lobbies. Definitely go check him out, Vanderrood Racing on Facebook. Join him in his chat and have some fun. All right, well, that was your finishing order. Now we're going to try to track down our top 3 finishers if we can find them. Be nice if I was in the right chat. Marshall Johnson is there. Powell. Kincaid. All right, where is... All right, so I do not have Jared Stone, but I do have Zach Stevens. Zach Stevens, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Well, second place finish is a good finish. Not where you wanted to be, but you definitely had a very good pit strategy, coming into this race, and it worked out well for you, but not for your teammate. Your teammate had a little bit of trouble on pit road, but he still brought home a top 10. But tell us, how are you feeling about your race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Yeah, we feel good. We think we saved a little bit too much that first run, let them get away too far ahead. But we still thought they might burn enough where they'd have to pit again. But all in all, good to get a P2 finish. Had a good truck. Wasn't a whole lot of racing going on because we was saving a lot. But we like Atlanta a lot. Chase, he spun coming into the pits that last pit stop, or the one before that. But either way, good strategy. Came up a little too short, but good finish for us either way.
Well, actually, the whole 4 wide had a pretty good finish up in the top 10.
Yeah.
So that's a really good night. Jack Nudemacher, he finished 7th. Billy Davison in 6th, and Chase in 9th. So everybody up there, and you bringing home a second place finish, that's definitely going to help you in the team points. But yeah, what a great race it was. Very spread out. Only 2 trucks on the lead lap. I was waiting for a late caution, and it was going to be you two battling it out because I know y'all had some fresh tires still in the pits. But man, great finish. Truck looked really good out there. Kept it clean and kept it green.
I didn't have no more tire sets. We only had 3 in the pits, so we used them every time we pitted. Chase saved a set just in case we got a caution since he spun, but I was out, so if we had a caution, I was gonna be. It wasn't gonna be good. So glad
that's
went
where
green
it
all
threw
the
me
way.
off. Chase saved the set.
Yeah. Good finish for Jack. Happy for him. Good for Billy. Good point stay for them. Chase should still be fine. I'm not sure where we go next week, but it doesn't really matter where we go. He's usually good wherever we go. So But we'll see how we do.
Absolutely. Well, next week is Homestead. That's going to be the last race of the round of 8, and there still are chances to get locked in. All it takes is a win to move on to the next round. But man, glad to see you here up in the booth once again. Everybody out there in your family reunion on the chat is happy to see you on that podium, and glad to hear from you. And you know what comes with those podium finishes? You can have all the shout outs you'd like.
Yeah, I just want to thank Daytona Hydrojet for being on the truck every week. W Energy, Butt Kicker, everybody at 4 Wide that came out to race. You guys up there in the booth. It's a good broadcast every race. I usually go back and watch it after the race or the next day or something. Thanks for the Old Glory guys for letting us race. Good win by the 33. He deserved it. Good strategy right there. Um, Thank my uncles, my dad, my mom watching. It was a good race. Homestead should be fun. So
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you get back down there to the 4 Wide chat, and we will talk to you later.
I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too. All right. Well, that was second place of Zach Stevens. Really good finish here tonight. Definitely going to probably keep him up in the top in the number 1 spot for the points. But we got our winner right there in the waiting room. I don't know where Jared Stone is, so we're going to go ahead and bring up our winner and see how he is feeling. Marshall Johnson, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4, Richard.
Well, it looks like you had a winning strategy here tonight. That 33 was moving 2 cars on the lead lap. You and Zach Stevens. Jared Stone gave you a little bit of a battle, when the race first started, but you pretty much stole the show at the end and brought it home in victory lane. Tell us how you're feeling.
I feel real good. I mean, I showed speed so I got the pole, so that was the speed I showed, but my strategy was to try and break it into 30 lap segments for fuel. I knew I needed to get that far, so when others wanted to go faster, if they could save fuel, great, but I knew I could only go so fast. So I just saved. It wasn't about saving tires, really. It was about saving fuel.
Well, you definitely had a good strategy on deck, and man, congratulations on that. Like you said, you started on the pole, you finished on the pole, or in victory lane, so not a bad deal at all. You didn't have any tires left at all, did you?
No, I think it was Zach that you had up in the booth, and same with him. Every time I went in, I was taking tires. So every 30 laps, I took tires, and that's all we had. So I know I wasn't the fastest truck once we got into a race. Zach was faster, Jared was faster, James was faster. So I think if we would have gotten a late caution, like 10 to go or less, Zach would have walked away with it because he was a lot quicker than I was. I'm not sure how many laps he had on his tires, but I was just glad to get the victory. Ran out of fuel, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't burn it down, but it sat where it ran out. So I had enough.
We were wondering about how much fuel you had, and but you had such a commanding lead that you could have pretty much coasted to the start-finish line because Zach was actually about 27 seconds back. You were only about 5 seconds behind him from lapping him. So, man, what a great job. What a fast truck. You got Homestead coming up next week. That's going to be the second race in the round of eights. And I know you're not locked in to the playoffs. Or are you? No, you're not. You are locked in now. That's going to lock you in with a win. So you're going to go ahead and advance on to the round of 4.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
I believe so. I'll have to check with Chris on that, but I believe it is.
Well, now you said it, so it must be true.
Oh, well, yeah. We'll check the rules. But great job here tonight, man, with those podium finishes and a win. Man, you can give all the shout-outs that you would like to give. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Well, first, I think you're my good luck charms because this was the first race that I had the broadcast in my headset while I was racing. So I was listening to your broadcast, which you do a great job on it. So thank you for the win, Richard. Also, want to thank the league, Old Glory. I love what they stand for with the military, and thank all the admins for all the work they do. I know it's not easy running a league. Sometimes it's probably easier to herd cats, but they do a pretty good job with the league. So appreciate that.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Appreciate that shout out. Well, if you actually ask Curtis Ecker, I am not a good luck charm. Every time I interview him, he'll be doing good, and then he smacks the wall. So maybe my
Well,
luck is turning
make sure-
around.
Maybe, well, for me, maybe, right? So you keep interviewing Eckler and let him have that bad luck. Keep it away from me.
All right. Well, congratulations once again, and man, we will holler at you later. Get ready for that homestead, as that's going to be the last race of the round of 8. So, congratulations, and we'll let you get down there and celebrate.
All right, thanks a lot, Richard. Yeah, it's good to know that I'm locked in so I can race with little stress next week. Have a good one. Thank you.
You too. All right, well, that is going to conclude our broadcast for this evening. I still do not see Jared out there in the chat at all in the Discord, so I'd love to give him an interview, but he is not in the Discord. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Zach Stevens once again, and Marshall Johnson. Zach Stevens, once again, he was the biggest mover of the race, up 5 positions. You had a couple other big movers, and that is going to be most of the 4 wide guys. That's going to be Billy Davison up 4, Jack Nudebacher up 4, and Joel Munchel. He is going to be up 4 positions also. But we hope you all have a good rest of your week. I appreciate y'all spending time with me here in the booth. Especially talking to me in the chats. Definitely enjoy that. Definitely enjoyed the joking. But I am gonna let y'all go and enjoy the rest of y'all's evening. It was exciting, but spread out tonight. But next week I think it will be a little bit more side by side battles, as Homestead can be a battle track. But I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. We're going to call it a night. Y'all get some rest for the rest of your work week, and we will see y'all later. Y'all have a good night, and God bless.